Yeah, yeah, I know, it, USB, USB video input on the iMac seems to only, well, yeah, actually, yeah. Exactly, yeah. So USB video input on Mac OS, I think you have to like be logged in. You can't be like, you can lock your screen, like be sort of a, so I don't know, something like that. The other thing was that because I updated the iMac from Mac OS 14 to 15, the way that the Wi-Fi interface, there's like this feature to like, rotate the MAC addresses or keep it as a fixed address or just actually expose the MAC address for what it is. Yeah, it is actually. I know, I'm wondering actually whether, I do, you know what? I do wonder whether I should just hook it directly into, because now that I've got a new little computer here, I feel like it could be fast enough to actually handle, this stuff. Especially now that we actually, on OpenBSD now, they have the video acceleration. So that would actually, be pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. So that would be actually pretty cool to do. Yeah, because actually it runs okay on my OpenBSD laptop. So it's actually, it is ironic. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, didn't think about that. Anyway, something to look at maybe for next time. Because yeah, I have to run like this big long cable to my, like my girlfriend's iMac. So it's like, anyway. Okay. So, the other day, somebody was really cool and sent in a pull request for our HLS package, our M3U8 package. So, how to get to this thing? Okay. Yep. It's time. Because, since we did this package, you know what's happened? Yeah, that's the one. The sort of, the package that is, like this, that's happened since we did sort of the bulk of the work on our M3U8 package. So I'm kind of thinking, oh shit, the time is now to, make sure there's another viable alternative. Now, of course, people have forked this thing and this is supporting way more features. But, it's interesting. So, yeah, and fair enough, right? Like this person, usual open source maintainer stuff. When was the last stream? That is a good question. I think I did one about 2 weeks ago. Something like that, yeah. And then stuff at work came up, and just shuffling things around and all that. So, yeah, just been day job stuff. Ugh, Yeah. No, thank you. Thanks for the nice messages, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Yep. But yeah, look, since this, like if we go on to what was, I can't remember yeah, it's imported by quite a few things. Oh, oh yeah, okay, they never did a v1, fair enough. Yeah, but it'll be cool to kind of maybe flesh out our smaller package a bit more. Also, missing like quite a lot of documentation. There's a few issues on about how the there's some testing. We could do a lot better testing. Right now, we're kind of just testing like specific things that we know could be wrong. You know, like stuff that doesn't really make sense. That we want to error out on, but there's a whole bunch of like sample playlists that are provided by Apple and other projects that I want to see. You know, I want to see how our package behaves with it. In particular, if we look at some, you know, here's sort of a standard playlist. The thing is that these are all like standard tags. I want to see what happens when there's like totally custom weird stuff in there, which you see in the real world. People put all sorts of crazy stuff in here. So let me just, anyway, let's just have a look and see what the last, I think it was, no, okay, let's go. Yes, okay, so shout out to Luis Rapatao at rapatao.com. Yeah, so let's see what this change actually is about. So if I remember rightly, yeah, this is the one. So this particular tag, what it does is it increments, it's just a, you know, a monotonically incrementing counter. Rather than doing timestamps, you can just increment a counter, and you know, it helps players know which sequences to load if you're scrubbing around, if you're, you know, what else is the counter used for? Oh yeah, it's used for things like you know, when you're loading stuff in a buffer, right? Like you want to be, oh, okay, I want to get this many sequences. And so, you know, it's easier to do that than, you know, say, for example, using timestamps or something. So just a, you know. The change initially was implemented like this. So let's have a look at a test, and I'll just talk through, I guess, I mean, if it's helpful, like I'll just talk through like how it was kind of done initially. Hey, there we go. Hey all. Oh. I've been, at the best. Yeah, I still pull from this every now and again. See what's going on in that world. That is interesting. Let's grab that. I'll do actually is I'll just leave that there. I'll look at that later. Hey. Okay. Sorry. So as I was saying, probably to just go through, because it was actually, it was interesting. It reminded me how this package really works, because I can't really remember very well. Okay. So we have some increasing counters like this. We have a, maybe I can open up to the Lexer. Or maybe we can just go to the parser. Yeah. So let's open this up. So if we sort of go through how the parser actually works is we have a Lexer that kind of steps through tokens. So there's a few sort of basic rules, like for example, that's a token, that is a token if I remember, so colon, and then that is another sort of token. You have comma, that's also a token. And then, yeah, something like that anyway. And then the Lexer is just throwing those things actually through a channel and giving it to the parser, and the parser makes sense of it. So then it sort of turns it into tags and that sort of thing. So we manage a bunch of tags already. So for example, the type of the item, I guess is the word that I'm using here. So we've got a tag, and then we work out which tag we've got. So so Mr. Lewis added support for media sequence. And the initial implementation looked like this. So what it did was it's using a regular expression. So we say, oh, like, does the raw input from the Lexer, like sort of the, the sequence of bytes or the string, does it match this particular regular expression? So we've got and then it's using, matching on like sort of a digit or like a, numbers. And the parser would return the thing using a regular expression. The thing is that we already have a lot of logic that sort of deals with this sort of stuff built into the Lexer. So for example, other things that look very similar to a sequence are the duration or the version. So in particular, the version is probably the best example because that's present in every playlist. So, you're going to version, 3 is very common, I think is like the minimum required version or something, if I remember rightly. But, you have version up to like 8 now or something. And they all look the same, right? It's a tag and then a number. So the Lexer actually supports, something that looks like a number. So if we look at the version, this is how the version tag, or let's get this right, how version items from the Lexer are parsed. So we just use strconf. And what we're actually doing here is that we get this tag through the Lexer, and then we actually consume one more item from the Lexer. So we consume this, and then we go, okay, well, we know for sure that it has to be a integer. And if it isn't, well then, just error out, right? And so, rather than relying on the regular expression engine to do it for us, we can just use strconf. And in that way, we don't even need a separate function. We can just do it all in one hit. So that's what we did here. So we changed it from using so parse sequence, and parse sequence sort of parsed it using a regular expression. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah. Well, I see rolling my own. Well, actually, so this whole design of the Lexer and the parser, I have copied that, of course, from somebody else. Rob Pike actually had a really good talk about it, about the design in this video here. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. If I remember rightly, it was actually how the Lexer in Go was originally. What was it? I think it was originally implemented like that. Like, but now they've just, I think now they just have like a hand, I can't remember now. They've switched it to like a handmade sort of recursive descent parser. I can't remember how the Lexer actually works. I guess we could look, but anyway, it was a super cool sort of like learning experience to do this. I still, yeah, I should probably rewatch that talk just to understand it again. But it's quite cool. So you end up, you know, it's, how does it work? You are constantly returning functions. So the tokens are passed through the channel and you're returning functions. It's telling the Lexer like what should be next. So for example, it would be invalid to have like a token and then, like a number and then like another number. So the Lexer will error out on that without needing to go through the whole sort of like parsing of, you know, how does M3U8 work? Yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of interesting, yeah. Yeah, anyway. So this was the change sent in. So shout out again to Mr. Rapatau, if I'm saying that correctly, because I can't speak Portuguese, so I hope that that's vaguely correct. Anyway, so what's next? Oh, I just realized my screen died. Back up again, okay. Hopefully that's okay. Yeah, I don't know. So what I think of doing is just going through and I wanted to double check the tests on. No, sorry, no. Initially, I thought. Because the initial implementation was using like regular expressions and it had a separate function, I thought, oh, well, actually, that's a good opportunity to write some tests for it. But actually, now that we're just using strconf, it's like, well, we don't, I mean, somebody else is testing that for us, so it's okay. Next up, I wanted to look at the issues. So let's, because I wrote a bunch of to-dos and stuff like that. Put this over here. Maybe I'll do that. Yep, that's good. Here. They never went anywhere. They were just sitting over there. I could see them constantly looking at me, saying, "Why aren't you doing any programming? Why aren't you doing any programming?" So they finally got the better of me, and here I am. I'm just looking to see which issue to work on. I like the look of this one because this is a little bit higher level and variants and renditions are important. In particular, the variants are important because this is, this is to do with, when you're reading a, like a live stream, like for example, what we're doing now, you'll see that it'll swap between different bit rates. So if you've got a great internet connection, then, you'll start off at some lower bit rate, but then it'll quickly go up to a high bit rate. Or if you're on a slow internet connection or some flaky one or all that, then, then you'll stay at this kind of, let's put it this way, you'll be loading a different variant. So let's see what I wrote. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So let's see what I'm talking about here. Let's see what a variant actually looks like too. That would be handy. So a variant is a tag. Ooh, wow. I did some documentation for this. That's good. It is a lot, yeah. Okay, so this kind of makes sense, right? So this is going to be, yeah, this is, okay, good. I'm happy with this choice of issue, okay? So we're definitely going to work on this. So it'll help me remember how the thing actually works. I'll come back to that. Okay, let's close that. Let's close that. Variant. Yeah. So you load in a playlist and you're going to be presented with some variants. If I remember rightly, yeah, that's it. Okay, let's have a look at a media. Ah, yes, here we go. Great. Okay. So here's a playlist. And here are the variants here. So that's a variant. That's a variant. That's a variant. And that's a variant. So if you were to load these files from the server, then you're going to get a, let's see, okay, does this kind of make sense, right? So that's 65 kilobits per second. It's going to be a, saying audio only makes sense. So it's an, what do you call that? AAC, MPEG-4 audio. Let's have a look at another one. something a little bit more interesting. But okay, let's just pick this. Let's pick this low res. Okay, so bandwidth is 1 point about. Is that right? Yeah, 1.3 megabits per second. And there's a video field is set to I can't remember what these are called. This is the tag, and these are the attributes. No, okay, so it's a field. Okay, so it's a field of the tag, I guess. So the video, is that a name? Is it just that name? For a matching rendition. Ah, yeah, okay. So you have the variant, and actually each remaining field identifies a matching rendition of the same type in the playlist. Right, so let's find, here we go. So there's one, so that's a rendition. If audio is set to music, then a matching rendition would have the group, yes, media audio, yeah, okay, got it. Awesome, okay, I get it. So for example, we have the variant, let's go this one again, okay? So we've got a variant that has audio video, that bandwidth, they call it mid. So here are all the different playlists that are serving the mid rendition, sorry, mid variant. So these are renditions that are using the mid variant video. And there's a few. I think this particular playlist is actually talking about, look at this, see, this is for, you know, you got a sports match and I guess center field, dugout. I think this is some American sport, I don't know what, but anyway. Yeah, but hey, you know. Type equals video, group ID equals mid. Okay, yeah, so different angles. Cool, okay. So right now, I guess, the issue is that we have functions defined that, you know, can, like, understands how to parse these things. But I'm sort of, I guess by the looks of things, I'm not really, my tests aren't very good, I guess, is what I'm saying here. Not an easy way to add test cases. Yeah, okay. So probably what that means is that maybe the only place that I'm testing it is like just having a huge master playlist and just sort of hoping that everything makes sense. But really I'd want to split up the tests a little bit more so that I know that, you know, that, let's say like that I can specify variants independently, easily, and go, okay, well, you know, I know this is an invalid variant and my package should, you know, return an error if I get an invalid variant. So I probably want an easy way to specify, for example, an invalid variant. And right now I don't really have that. I need to write out a whole playlist. Okay, so let's go to, let's have a look at our tests. Tested code, sequence. Interesting. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so I've got a test that, yeah, reads in this little playlist. And, oh. Damn. Thanks, yeah. I think I need to fix up my my little program that streams the display output to the other computer. I'll just quickly check. Hold up. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, there, it's dead again. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, so I've got a little test here that does that. Yeah, really, I want to just, be able to just specify a whole bunch of lines like that and just say, this is invalid, this is invalid, this is invalid, and just kind of, yeah, that's probably what I want to do. So, for example, I want to I can't even remember, am I parsing that correctly? I mean, is that well defined? I can't remember. So for example, what I really want to do is do something like this, just have, a whole bunch of lines, just with totally wrong stuff in it, right? Like XX, okay, do one that. Another one that maybe is, minus 1, X minus 1, impossible resolution, stuff like that. I may well be parsing resolutions okay, but I would like to check that. We'll have a parse variant function, I assume. Okay, and it's chunky. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I mean, I look at this now, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can, yeah, parse resolution, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's look at our test coverage for this function. That's, yeah. So I know I want this, but I just out of curiosity, I want to see exactly what type of, Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I know. Looking at this, I'm like, whoa, what? Yeah. Like that, at least. And then just in general, I think it would, yeah, this thing's a bit of a monster, hey. Let's have a look at, yeah, let's get a, yeah, let's get some output of this. Cover, I can't remember how to do this now. Just cover. Yeah, that's it. There we go. So I want the coverage. And then I want the HTML output. That was quite handy. What was that? Count, cover, profile. Test flag. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Oh, what? Go tool. Huh. Wow, geez, I'm out of date. What is it? So some HTML. Generating a report requires systems go test cover profile. cover profile. Okay, so and then so let's do that. And then cool. Okay, there's our, and then we do go tool cover HTML cover.out. Oh, cover. Was that right? Go tool. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Hey, there we go. Okay, so okay, a little bit. It's very dark. All right, so let's go to the file that we're interested in, which is parse.go. And then let's go, here we go. All right, variant, okay. Yeah, see, that's not being tested. So we're not actually testing whether, yeah. So for example, if I get I think, yeah, is that right? Anyway, so yeah, what we're getting is if I do this, if I try and parse that, we're not actually testing that. Let's double check. So if we go parse resolution, yeah. Or at least, actually, I haven't dealt with the cover output for a while. Yeah, see, and actually, yeah, right? Like, this is also, see, we want this to be, you know, like a negative, like we can have a negative integer, that's fine, right? So, yeah, this also 100% coverage of that. I know, you would say that. That's unsurprising. Yeah, but, you know, it's actually a great point. Like, holy shit. Like, I look at this and I'm like, why? Yeah. Block of text. Damn. So, yeah, definitely need to... No. You're fucking 100% right. 100% right. Yeah, okay. Now, how do we want to test this then? Okay, so for example, we've got our variant here. So we need to really... Should we start? Let's just choose resolution just because we kind of started like that. Yeah, something like that would be good, yeah. I mean, shit, look, at 60%, I'd be happy with 80. Where I'm at. All right, we got that. So how are we going to define tests for this? That's the thing. Do we want to test parsing the resolution or do we want to test parsing the variant? I feel like the variant alone would be, it's probably a good way to start. And then if we really need to drill down, we can. Okay, I mean, let's try that. Parse. Okay. The problem is that we've kind of, that's the input. So we kind of need to almost set up a Lexer to do this, which is a bit, Another thing we could, yeah, no good, no good. This is the input. That's it. It's just that text. So yeah. How am I gonna? So this is the issue, right? This is, yeah. Yep, there we go. In my own words. And what's happening is that we're going in to the function. See, there's some more state in here than I think is good, right? Because we're going in, like say if you get in here and you get, you read an item and you get a tag. I mean, the state that's required to use this function is just, I think too much state is required here. It's not a good function. Yeah, and then so what's happening is that you're going through and you're reading the it goes to and goes the attribute, right? So it reads that and then reads an equals. Don't quite get this either. The attribute. Okay, so we read one item and then we just switch on it. Okay. Okay, so the attribute name. Okay, so we're doing this. So we're going through here, we're going resolution, is it, whatever. And then we read the next item. The next item has to be equals. If it's not, then we error. So we've stored the attribute in this variable, and then we go down, okay, and we go, okay, what's the value of it? So we say, okay, is it name, is it this, is it whatever, blah, 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 blah. So let's have a look at bandwidth. So here, we again are reading the next item from the channel. So the next item we say, hey, is it a number? If not, it's an error. We try to parse the number, and then we set then we set the values in our actual variance that we're going to return. Yeah, look, to be honest, I'm not sure how to do this. It's not good, is it? Sort of an interesting design to do all this item stuff, but damn, you know, when we're here, it's a bit like, yeah, it's not, yeah. So, split this out. Alright, so let me say what I'm thinking. Like, we could, look, I mean, making a channel is easy in Go. So, and we can just throw items into it. It doesn't need to come, you know, we don't need to read, you know, we don't need to like, you know, actually read or decode bytes. We can just, you know, make some items and just send it through a channel. It's okay. Right, so we just do, you know, like that. And then we just start sending values in. The thing is that it's not easy to specify the tests. Like it's not easy to add test cases because you don't want to be like, oh, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you kind of, yeah, it's too, yeah, you really want to set, you know, this is what everybody knows. This is, you know, let's draft something up like this, okay? So we're gonna go line let's just start doing it. Let's define how we want, like how, you know, the final, this is what we want it to look like. And let's just come up with a way to, you know, some way to read this data somehow. Name. Line. So there's our some bad resolution, bad variance. we could, yeah. Another thing we could do is we could actually just test parsing the resolution, because that uses much easier values. Right, like it just reads in a string. So, you know, we could just, yeah. But I wonder if there are higher level, you know, there are going to be some, you know, like higher level properties of a variant that we also want to test. So sure, we could have invalid resolution, okay, but like what about, you know, like can you specify, how about this one? Specify resolution twice, is that even valid? Yeah, there we go, see? So like right now, if I have resolution twice, it would just, you know, it would just overwrite the previous value, I think. Yeah. So you know, say we do this, just have like a million resolutions. Is that right? No, I don't think so. Should we cover that case? Don't know. But that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of. Another thing we could do is could we do something like just provide that and then just do a very basic like I don't know. All right, okay. Let's try and, I don't know, let's just write some code, see what it looks like. Let's do the channel thing, and just see what happens. Oh, I can't do it. It's so bad. I don't like doing this. This doesn't seem right. Just send through. Because then we need to like convert. Let's have a look. So we could read from the, okay, let's just try. Let's try. Okay. Okay, let's loop through the tests. Range of tests. This is a t.run, and then we're going to go t.name. Okay, and then we're going to go tt.line. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so run. So we're going to go run. Nice. That's cool. Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. It's funny how you go, making my first dynamic array implementation in C, as if there's like another 10 to come. I mean, yeah, like, that's cool. Okay. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I'm looking at it right now. Yep. So I think now, okay, look. So what I've done is I've set up a Lexer. I'm not happy with this. Okay, look. So I've set up a Lexer. I have started it. Let's just pass the all right. So variant. I'll just v parse variant, and then we've got our items. Okay, so this is gonna fail straight away. So let's watch it. Let's watch it fail. I want to see how it fails. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, wow, that actually worked way better than I thought. Holy shit. Look at this. How? What? How did this work? What? How did this work? That is the error that I wanted. But this one succeeded, see? Which is not cool. So really our what do I say? No error, right? Like we actually want error. Okay, so let's do that. So yeah, parse invalid variance. No error. And really, yeah, it's almost, yeah, okay, look, okay, well, you know, okay. Let's just keep going with this. Just keep going and just see how it feels. At least now we know that we can just specify tests like that. I want a way to maybe, yeah, like signal what. It's fine, right? We know very negative. Yeah, see, the context comes from the name, so it's okay. Like no error. I mean, I think I'd rather that. I would like to maybe have some way to signal what we expected or something, but. Okay, so let's fix our, let's fix this. So we know that the, oh, actually, no, sorry. What I want to do is, I want to see our, and I know we're doing parse. Ooh. Let's go to our parser. There we go. So that bit wasn't set before. So let's just out of curiosity, let's comment out this test. And yeah, okay, and then we'll do that. Okay, and then we go to our parser, okay, parse variant. Yeah. See, so that's the stuff that, yeah. Again, it is another one of those things. I mean, you know, at some point you have to, let's say, say if somebody sets the resolution to something negative. I mean, you know, like, is that, or let's say, I mean, like, what if the resolution is huge? Like,
something impossibly large. Like there's no such display that could ever be, you know, the 64-bit, the whole 64-bit integer big. I don't know. Do you want to cover that case? I mean, at some point you kind of have to. It's sort of how to say, like there's a little bit of garbage in, garbage out thinking. Does a negative resolution even make sense? I don't think so though. I think that's probably, yeah.
So for the exercise of actually like being able to specify the tests and stuff, it's probably
okay.
I wonder if maybe there's a way to kind of okay, one of the things we could do is like, I don't know, Lex line, you know, and then just have a, you know, line like a, you know, or like just a really basic function like Lex line or something, you know, so just a line string and then give us back a you know, I don't know, just something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Then we're kind of hidden a lot of the detail of what, you know, this start a go routine and do all this sort of shit. We don't need to worry about that. And we could just put that in the test file so that, you know, it's not really meant to be, you know, really it's only meant to be used by tests or something. I want to see, I just want to check how the errors are reported. Yeah, because I can't remember how the Lexer actually like, does it? So let's go. Yeah, okay, see, so as so what happens is that as you read the items coming from the Lexer, you'll get, there's a type of type error. So yeah, ugh. Yeah, look, I mean, for now, look, let's happy with that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, still not, I'm not super happy with this, you know, it's still a bit, I mean, it's good that we're able to do this sort of thing now. So let's have a look at the other ways variance can be shit. Actually, let's open up the, yeah. So dark. Seems like it's not, like this is really difficult to read. I feel like that should be white. Something to do with the browser? I've got nothing set. It's automatic. Oh. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, look at that. I like the high contrast stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, anyway, no, we'll just not get distracted. Okay, so... variant, okay. What if we... That's another example. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. What else we got? We want a negative. It's going to be -1 by -1. Got decimal, maybe like this. I don't know if that's valid or not. So we'll go 10.69 by 1. So let's do that. What's the resolution again? Width by height, yeah. Height. Okay, it's doing like this. So we're saying like, hey, like we tried to parse this thing and there was, the name is that, and there was no error. Okay. And then we just continue. Okay, quick and dirty. Oh, yeah. Oh, it returns. Okay, yeah, fine. See, so that to me looks like, I kind of like that. I mean, that is such a that's yeah, that just looks a lot better, doesn't it? You know, and look how easy that is.
Let's do our so test coverage. So go. I don't know where my command went, but okay. What was it again? See, I can't remember. Oh yeah, go just cover profile. So we're doing the resolution. Let's say we do. Let's say we also enable this test. I want to see what how it kind of looks. Oh. And then if we look at our parse variant, you were converting an internal PHP API, what we used at Office in my free time to Go. Loving it until Debian crashed and took, whoa, what? Oh, yeah, well, you know, something like that happens, yeah, you know. What do you think happened? Yeah, okay. Snap Store, yeah. Damn. I haven't used that, you know, those Snap packages much. Actually, I don't even think I've ever used it.
I feel like, you know, for what this test is actually doing, I mean, like, I feel like this isn't actually what, I think this does the job better, because that's really, this is really what we want to test. I mean, say we get like some weird attributes in there. Is yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we want to test stuff like that, you know, some like just totally bizarre, you know, thing doesn't make any sense, but you know, I also feel like here, I mean, do we really need to check the type of the item? I mean, for example, so here, right? Tag parse variant, okay. So resolution, okay. I mean, you know, who cares? You know, I mean, like, because we don't want to pass garbage to parse resolution, but also I don't think we really, you know. Because it saves us, you know, for like item string. I mean, you know, it's so general. It doesn't really. Yeah, I think the stuff that helps is like the numbers, the equals, the errors. But yeah, I feel like this is just extra code for nothing, because we're gonna get, you know, we're gonna get an error here anyway. So say we knock that out. Why is it printing? Oh, look, because there's a print statement at the bottom here. I saw that. See, okay. And then the same goes for unexpected. Yeah, see, like when, yeah. See, so for this, like for something that is definitely going to be a string, okay, sure, like we can check that just to give a little bit of, you know, sanity checking. You know, same for here, you know, we're going to, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like for a resolution, because we've got this function already, I mean, yeah, it's not relevant. I think we can just pass it straight to it and just go, okay, next. I like that. I think it's better. So let's do that. Let's see what our coverage is at now. Oh, actually, let's just do this. $61. Huh? Oh yeah, the file, yeah. So it's 65.6, okay. And then say we actually knock out this. So this is a kind of, you know, the test is quite, you know, there's a lot of setup required for it and kind of a lot of detail that you need to know to set up the test, right? You need to set up a new Lexer and, like, you know, run and it's not working, but anyway. Okay, and then we go to here. Yeah, see, fuck, like it's not, yeah, I think we're not getting a lot out of it. We really want to be able to split up. I think the important thing is actually splitting up this parse variant function so that it's just easier to test. Not necessarily coming up with a way to make easier test cases. I think that's what we want. Look at here, okay, like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like if we're in the, if we're parsing a variant and, everything is in there, so it's okay. Like if that's not tested, who cares? Because parse resolution is really, it's good. So let's do that. Let's also test this missing X. It's good. Fair test. Could see that happening. Cool. Yeah, that's happy with that. And then if we, again, do our coverage, yeah, see, and then let's do this again, just, and go parse resolution. Yeah, the whole, yeah, that's what we, yeah, okay. See, because I'd written all this code, but I hadn't really tested it. So I think it'll be good to work on refactoring, just trimming this function down. It's a bit, yeah, there's a few things going on. It's not too bad. It's just like, yeah, there's probably more we could do here. Indeed, like Swills6 said, just break it up a bit, use some lines. A long function isn't so bad. It's just, a readable function is the most important thing. I think, again, yeah, we can knock that out because we're going into a whole different function anyway. The thing's just reading a string anyway, so it's like... yeah, okay. What about if we did this? Missing height. Okay, that also errors, yeah. Okay, good to know. All right, so let's yeah, it's good. I'm happy to knock that out. Let's fix that up. So -1, -1. So we'll go parse resolution, and then we'll say if res o is less than 0 or res 1 is 0, Right, there we go. I don't know what the error is for this. Yeah, okay. Cool. It's good. Makes sense. Okay. That's good. That's good. One of the higher level things. Let's just see this again. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, see, let's put in a HDCP level into the example. You know, let's put it in here. I don't even know what that HDCP level looks like. So what we could do is actually look at the RFC 8216. Okay. Oh no, we've got to do that. There we go. Okay. And let's find HDCP level. Was it HDCP? Let's just look for that. Valid strings are type 0 and none. Huh, I've got type 1 here. Must be a later version. Okay, look, let's just throw in some values. I mean, I guess we can just check it here. So HDCP level equals none. Okay, let's have a look at the coverage. Ooh, yeah, 62, that's good. Again, I would actually, I would knock this out because we're just passing it straight through as a string. So, you know, see, we're going to go like, you know, unknown HTTP level, you know, like 21. So, okay, it's fine. We don't need to check beforehand. It's just unnecessary code. So let's open, right, we don't care. Okay, let's go again. The parser. Yeah, see, we're getting the coverage up just by deleting code. it's even better, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, so parse HTTP. Oh, yeah, okay. I can't remember what the differences are now. What is it? HDCP.
And I see this stuff is documented as well, so I don't really want to, whoops. Like, see this example function, I don't know whether I want to litter it too much with, you know, because I like just how simple the example is. It kind of gives you an idea of like what a variant is, that sort of thing. Or rather what a playlist is, rather than including all this sort of stuff. So maybe what we'll do is we'll just put in, we can put it in one of the test files. Let's throw it in here. Okay. So first off, let's just check this. So type 0 indicates that the yeah. Okay, so let's just throw in some here. So let's do this. Let's go HDCP level equals none. Let's, for the audio only one, let's say, oh, there's no encryption. I don't know, whatever, why not? And then let's throw it in here. So we'll go to pen these. So there's a variant. Let's go type 0 here, and then let's do another one. Okay, let's do that. Why not? Okay. Let's run the test. All good. Let's see. Okay, ooh, almost 70%. So if we go to HDCP, okay, cool, and parse HDCP. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Great. Okay. Oh, sorry, man. What are we working on? Oh, okay. So, we're working on this issue. So when you read a HLS playlist, there are usually a number of, let's call sub playlists. So the spec refers to these as variants. Most common example is different bit rates, so different quality. So, you know, on YouTube, you've got like low quality, high quality, you know, and Twitch, I guess, is the same. So, you know, if you're on a poor internet connect or a poor connection, then you will probably get, you know, a variant that has a lower bitrate video stream and audio stream. So yeah, so we're just working on parsing and validating those tags in a playlist. The thing is that my tests for that were not very good. And also it was kind of hard to specify tests. So I couldn't really remember how, you know, it really worked. So what I've done is we've just written some more, just written some better tests for it. We were, initially it was about no easy test cases because of the way the parsing is a little bit, I think it's too complicated looking at it now, but anyway, we've got the design, so and it's documented well by others, so but yeah, in particular, rather than making it easier to specify tests for the tags, we kind of added more tests for the bits that make up a variant. So we're testing that, we're testing this, we're testing, all that sort of thing. So, yeah. And, yeah. How are you going, by the way? All good, I hope? Cool. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I know that feeling. Yeah. Oh, thanks. That's nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, now I've just sorted out sort of day job stuff, so hopefully, you know, um, sounds about right. Yeah, no, but just sorted out day job stuff, so hopefully it can do a bit more now. I did do a quick stream like a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, then more work stuff came up, so anyway, but hopefully on track now. Yeah. All right, so another thing we could do with the variants is actually really go, you know, even higher level and just specify a whole playlist in a file. I mean, it's pretty easy. For example, if we go to, let's have a look at our example decode functions. So we've got here examples decode. Okay, here we go. So that's a valid playlist, and it only contains variants. And I mean, that's really easy, right? We just actually, I mean, we just start with that and then just specify it anyway. Yeah. So I think, you know, the test cases we can make are just, we can just make some files that look like this. And I mean, we could even do, you know, we could even specify like a very, very basic custom file format, sort of like the Techstar package, which I think is, oh yeah, no, it's not here. Okay. But yeah, like the idea is that you specify, say we've got our, where are our playlists? There's one playlist, then you do this, and then you just do another one. And then, you know, the basic parser just goes, oh, like that's a separate stream, you know, like a separate file. Oh, and that's a separate file, and you just kind of just power through every one of them. Give it a name here, something. Yeah, something like that. So that way we can actually get another thing we could do is we already have a few playlists here. So what about ext info? Wait, is that, what's the tag again? Can't remember. Stream INF. Okay, so stream INF. Yeah, wow. Okay, so look, we've got heaps of that's interesting. So let's have a look for frame rate. Yeah, see, there's our yeah, so we're kind of doing some variance there as well anyway. So we're kind of, yeah, we'll get yeah, we get tests, we get some coverage there as well. So frame rate, we got here. Resolution. M3U8. Let's have a look if we're reading that explicitly or... Resolution. This isn't even 1920 by 800. What is that? Whatever. Okay. So yeah, just reading through this, and it's quite a lot in the variant. We can pull something out here somehow. Yeah, just reading through all this stuff. I just haven't read through it in so long. It's been like almost a year, I think. No, has it been so long? Anyway. Oh, I don't know for fars. So are you going to? No, I can't. No. Even. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's all right. Name. Extreme INF. Yeah, that's the one that we. That's one that we want to validate. Seems like from here, we just want to make sure that we're working through all of these. In fact, I mean, I wonder whether we're actually getting all of the tags, all of the attributes in a variant at all anyway. Right? I mean, like I've set all of these, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. So that's another thing. But for now, we do have this, okay? So what we would do is, like say, yeah, at a high level, let's actually, you know what? We can indeed write this. Let's do it. Okay. So we've done a resolution testing. That's great. That's important. Let's do another one. Let's chuck it all the way up. Test decode. Okay, let's do this. I'll just test variant. It's fine. Okay, T testing. Let's read this playlist. And then at a very high level, let's just check that. so we'll read this playlist, and we know the variants that we want, right? We know that every variant is going to be one of these. So we'll just go through and we'll just make sure that we get the variants that we want. I think that's it. It's all right. Decode F. And okay, and then let's start setting our variants. Okay, so where do we start? We start up here. Okay, so let's do the bandwidth is 1280. Okay. Video is low. I can't remember how to read these. Let's go again. So let's go doc variant. Oh, right. Okay. Here. Okay, so go doc HDCP level. On. Okay. So let's go again. HB type 0. Okay, so type 0 is HDCP type 0. What else do we need from the variant? The URI. The URI is that one. And then we go again. This. The bandwidth is that. Thank you very much. Cheer 100, cheer 100. Thanks, Kai314. Super kind, man. Thank you. It's mid, and this is type 1, and then the URL is actually this. Okay, we're gonna go again. So let's do this. Bandwidth this time is 70, oops. It's high. And there's no HDCP level. And it's high. Always, apparently, yep. Yeah, so video, I mean, and variant 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so last variant is, whoops. This one. Bandwidth is, so this is just an audio only one, so the bandwidth is going to be lower. That audio is not going to exist. The URI is just going to be this. The bandwidth, we're doing codecs. just going to be that. Because I think the codex, yeah, is a slicer string. Okay, yep, so that's all good. And is HDCP none. Okay,
okay, now we need to, so we've decoded our playlist. We've say, hey, like we expect these variants. So let's go, we're gonna have to use deep equal from the reflect package because we're sort of comparing this sort of thing. So let's go like that. If reflect, oh, if not reflect deep equal plist dot variant. Actually, there's a better way to do this. I think what I'll do is rather than comparing the entire slice, I'll just check each one, because then, you know, then I, you know, then I can, yeah, you can give a little bit more specific error than saying, hey, like the variants are all different. It's like, well, which one? How is it different? That sort of thing. So I'll loop through because they're in a set order, not a random order. Okay, so the other thing is that I can't remember how the variant is actually represented in a playlist. So let's have a look at that. Variants, okay, makes sense. All right, so let's go like that. So let's go for I range. Let's see. Got I go. Got one that. Okay, something like that. Okay, so I got one. Okay, I think that's it. Actually pretty happy with that. That's actually, I think we've kind of got it. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So HDCP. Oh. Oh, nice. Okay, there we go. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So there's actually a few changes in here, so maybe I need to kind of split it up a little bit, because one is we're testing the resolution more, and then the other ones are just testing variance at a high level. Let's do that. Okay, do we want this one? Actually, let's do this again. I'm not going to do the white space for now. Let me fix that up. Resolution, yeah, let's do that. HDCP. Let's do that afterwards. So let's just do the resolution change first.
Oh, they're typo. Yeah, let's put that in.
Okay, and yep. And yes. Okay. No, we're not going to add that. No, we're not going to add that one. That's a variant test. We're not going to add that in this commit. Resolution, yes. No. Okay, cool. All right. So let's commit 3U8. Okay, so we don't necessarily need to make adding need to make it easier to specify variant test cases. We just need to test already easy to test bits of variance. Okay, references the issue, which is 34, is that right? Yeah. Okay, that's one change. And then the next one is going to be I think this change is really about you know, we're adding a higher level variant test. So actually checking that the we parse a playlist that has a bunch of variants in it, and we check, hey, like, are the values that, you know, are like the attributes of the variant tag what we expect them to be, because we didn't even have that test before, and now we do. So let's do that. Whether variants we parse from a playlist were what we expect. Okay, and then again we're going to reference that issue, because we're sort of thinking, oh, like we need to add some way to like make tests easier to set. No, it's like, no, like we weren't testing in the first place, so it's kind of, this is much better. Cool. Okay, and then hopefully that is yeah, test the parsing. So I think I'm happy with that. Let's push that. Cool. yeah, let's see. So right now we're doing easy about our test cases. Well, you know, yeah. Okay, so here's ext m3. Oh, what does it look like again? And can be just 3 lines long. Okay, so I can have that. The immediate info can be very, very basic. The variant can be super basic. It can just be like that. And we have another variant somewhere. Where was it? The attributes also found that thoroughly. And testing parsing is very easy to test. To do the boring work of writing, of actually, you know, writing and running. Okay, cool. Happy with that. All right, let's save that. Cool. All right, there we go. That's that issue closed. All right, and then I think I'm good to go really, because it's 1:30 p.m. here in Sydney in Australia. So and I haven't had lunch, so I'm pretty hungry. So I'm gonna just see that issue again.
Wow, sub issue. I didn't know we had that. Cool. Okay. All right. Ah, there's this as well. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, there we go. See, look at that. Great. I think we'll definitely work on that next time. Okay. Cool. All right. So, thanks very much, everybody, for the very kind messages. I think it was a good, yeah, it was a good session. And yeah, see you next time. Yeah. Oh, good. Nice to hear. Thanks very much for saying that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. How do I turn this off? I can't remember. Yeah. See ya. Bye. I'll just quit this. Close this off. And yep. Okay. See you. Ciao. Bye.